Thunderstorms Thursday, a humid day with a high of 83 to 88. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
Celebrity Soul Food is opening its flagship restaurant here in Ocala on Friday, September 3rd. And to fill in the many questions about this food with soul, Tom's guest on Thursday, September 2nd at 10 a.m. will be Dr. J, co-founder and CEO of Celebrity Soul Food. You'll learn about best-in-class service and legendary recipes. So listen in on Thursday, September 2nd at 10 a.m. to hear what's on the menu from Celebrity Soul Food, right here on WOCA, The Source.
It's rodeo time in Ocala. The 39th annual Ocala Shrine Rodeo returns to the Southeastern Livestock Pavilion September 3rd and 4th, 7:30 nightly. Witness the superstars of the PRCA as cowboys ride to help children walk. For tickets and information, check out OcalaShrineRodeo.com for broncs, bulls, and babes. The Ocala Shrine Pro Rodeo, September 3rd and 4th, 7:30 nightly.
That's right. It's In the Garden with Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. She's here, as she is every Tuesday, taking your phone calls about anything concerning your grass, your flower beds, your planted pots, your potted plants, your herbs, your vegetable gardens, anything that you can grow in dirt. Carol Ann is a resource, and she joins us now. Good morning, Carol Ann.
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Thought I was going to have a tragedy. In the last couple of days, but I didn't water Mom enough.
Yeah.
I thought I was watering Mom enough. She was
Right.
getting enough, but
Yeah,
yesterday I drenched her for a good 5 minutes. She's fine this morning.
Right. Yeah, you think that those afternoon showers are enough, and especially because she was tucked up under a tree.
Right, under an oak tree.
And so the water's first got to come through the tree and then get through her foliage to get down to her dirt. And it just
So I cleaned her out. My wife did give her a fertilizer injection.
Okay, nice little shot of liquid stuff.
So she's back kicking again.
She'll be up and she's up and perky again.
Is that not one of the most hardy plants in the world?
It's a pretty tough plant, and I think, and I hate to
We're
say
talking
this,
about peace lilies.
Peace lilies, right? And I think that's why. And I always hate to say, you refer to them, and you got them as in memory of your mother's passing, that they're a funeral plant.
Yes.
And
they live forever.
and they do, and they can get massive. And I think the reason that they have been used for that is one, they are pretty, but that they can survive on neglect. So when someone is going through a mourning process or whatever, if they forget to water it, it's so long as it doesn't go too long, it's going to pop back.
Because I've went 6-7 days without watering her.
Right.
And she
I mean,
droops over.
She was getting a little bit out of the
She was drooping. It wasn't good.
She wasn't happy.
And then I gave her a good soaking yesterday, and she's okay.
Back.
She's like, oh, good for you. Ready
it's
to
like,
go.
Finally, about time you gave me something.
And I cleaned out some of the
old dead stuff out of it. Yeah. And I mean, that's one of those things. I mean, I've had customers come through the store going, my husband's been gone for 12 years, and I've had this, and it's gotten to where it's just too big for the house.
Well, I keep it in a pot that it keeps the size, but my wife has convinced me that you're right as a master gardener that we need a bigger pot.
Needs to go in something larger.
Right.
Yeah, and they do. I mean, it's not every year.
I've had this plant. It'll be 12 years December.
Okay, yeah, and she'd probably be if you're not seeing it online, massive.
Yeah, she's not. She's in
about a 2 gallon.
She's in one about this big.
Oh, okay. So
probably
so that's still a pretty nice size.
5 gallon.
So
and
she's been moved from one. She's been
Oh,
moved
she's
from
been
the
moved from
original.
2 plants.
Yeah.
She's been moved from 2 pots.
So yeah, she's not totally strong. But you'll find when you take
But
her
she's
out
full.
of there, yeah.
She's full. She's.
You
I
probably
promise
can't pick more.
her roots are beating the sides of the wall.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And that's it. And I said, I've encouraged people, that if it has gotten and I'm making a 13-gallon pot size arms around where people have them that large. They're in their living rooms. They've had them forever. They're just have gotten too big, but they still want the plant. And I always say, well, to family, friends, whomever is, get some help, get it out of the pot, divide it,
And
take
put it
a
in other
piece of
pots.
take a piece of it, put it in a pot, and then offer the others to family and friends who may wish to have a piece of it as well.
Yeah, Mom's she's gonna go to a bigger pot.
Yeah.
She's an outdoor plant.
She
Doesn't. The only time I bring her, and I don't bring her inside at all.
is in the
I
winter
bring
time when
her.
it's going to
I
freeze.
don't bring her inside. I bring her up on the porch.
Right.
Underneath the awning.
when it's gonna freeze.
And then I put a blanket over.
Right. Right.
I don't do any light or anything.
No.
I just bring her so frost can't get to her.
Right.
And I put a blanket over.
Yeah.
Now some people say up under the awning you don't need to put a blanket on it because frost can't get to her.
But the
I still do
temperatures,
it. Right.
the temperatures, because what that blanket does is it holds that warmth that's in the pot and off the concrete, or
Right.
that's where bringing the plants up against the house, or up underneath other plants and then covering, and the reason the cover goes all the way to the ground, and I know it's the end of August and we're talking about cold weather, but
Never too early.
down all the way to the ground is because it traps that heat coming from the earth into those areas.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Are you going to use my wife's life hack to tell people about how to keep their trees and all safe this winter? Remember?
The pool
the
noodles.
pool noodle?
Yes. The pool noodles are a great idea, especially for for young small
It was,
trees.
it was
fit
big enough, right?
perfect, yeah.
And we actually, she the other day comes in and goes, got the ones for this winter because now the
They're
tree's a little
caliber,
thicker.
yeah.
But she went and found a pool noodle that's got a
That's
bigger,
a little
thicker
bit bigger,
center.
yeah.
So she's going to use the same thing and wrap the
Wrap the trunk up. Yep.
where
Just
the-
slice just where the graft is.
where the
just-
graft is and cover it up, and then put the blanket on top of that
Right,
as
to
added
cover
protection.
right, because you're covering then the foliage to
Right.
try to protect the foliage. But you're
And
protecting
it goes all
that
the way to the
graft.
ground.
Yeah.
All the way to the ground.
And
So-
just remember that when you're doing those, is have some bamboo sticks or some other type of stick,
put 'em in the ground.
and put them in the ground to where it holds it off the top of that foliage.
Yeah, because if that blanket gets cold,
it lays on there.
And
It's
it burns the
whatever it
leaves.
touches, it's going to burn and freeze those leaves.
right? So
And I know it seems funny, and yes, I goofed on the In the Garden page. Tomorrow is September the 1st, so
you're trying to hurry it along, are you?
No, I turned my calendar because I work tomorrow.
Oh.
And so it was like, okay, I turned the calendar, and then when I sit down and I did that, and a friend had said, no, it's not. Yeah, it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow's the
Yeah,
1st.
tomorrow's the 1st. It's
Today's the
oops.
31st.
Today's the 31st, and I could have done.
And
that.
all the people born on August 31st are kind of upset with you that you were trying
I'm
to
sure, yeah, that
deny
I was
them.
deny them their birthday. My most heartfelt apologies, and that pushing winter. But there's a lot of folks here in Central Florida who like that change in weather.
So, speaking of changing weather, it's coming. It's going to get in about the next 8 weeks from now. 8 weeks from now, you'll start seeing where we have the mid 60s.
Well,
the high 60s.
And I know people are going to think I'm strange, but when you step out your front door pretty much the same time every day in the morning, and you go, oh, it's not quite as hot as it was 3 days ago.
Right.
I mean, that's fluctuating still right now, that our overnight temperatures are still 76, 77 degrees. But when you get up, I don't know if it's just the morning humidity has been down, which obviously it's been climbing,
Right.
climbs rapidly during the day. But it's like, I can feel.
By the end of September, 1st of October,
Oh yeah.
we'll be into where we'll have 60-degree nights. It'll still be 90-degree days,
Right. Yeah.
but they'll start being a
It'll
fluctuation.
be instead of being 77, 76,
It'll be
77
69,
overnight,
70.
Even 72, 73.
Right.
But that's still, that 5-degree difference is quite a bit. So
So if I was going to put color in my yard right now for the upcoming months, What plants do I go look for to put color in my yard?
I would still, it would either be one of those things that go, and I'm just going to wait for the transition to happen because your cool weather plants aren't coming in yet. You could continue with what they call summer annuals. Even the longer blooming perennials can be still put in now. If you're looking for the fall color, the coreopsis, some Gaillardia, which is blanket flower, gives you those garnet colors, the gold colors, you can get mums, which will get you purples, oranges, reds. Those are coming into the stores. And everybody goes, oh, it's too hot for mums. Realize the mums that you're buying here, so long as you're buying the garden mums, are grown in Florida, outdoors, out in the sun, generally in Miami. So it's
warm.
It's warm. The biggest issue is making sure they stay watered because in my humble opinion, I believe the soils they grow them in are garbage. Because they dry. When they dry, they are extremely difficult to get wet again. So it's one of those things of really having to stay up on the watering on those, or when you buy them, knocking off almost all that dirt
And
that
put
they
new
came
dirt
with
in.
and putting fresh soil in, putting a fresh mix in, to where that will actually hold some water.
Right now, because people are wanting to get out. People are wanting to get out.
They're getting a little itchy.
They get school's back in, so
Yes.
parents have a little more time.
A little more time, or you're up maybe a little earlier in the morning.
But it's not time to put fertilizer on the grass or anything
Not yet. It's I mean another couple weeks. We're looking at usually. I always say, it's still extremely hot here. This August 31st, first week of September, first 2 weeks of September. It's still very hot. So another 2 weeks, and I know 2 weeks doesn't seem like it can make that much difference, but it actually can. It can change the amount of rains that are going on. Just those nighttime temperatures and things like that. And whenever you put that down, make sure it's a turf fertilizer. We don't use 666 or 10-10-10 on our lawns. You can use it on the landscape, but not on the lawn. And on the bags, it will not give you how to set your spreader to put it on your lawn either. But a lawn fertilizer, just a basic fertilizer, you can put down, I would say sometime in the mid part of September to the end of September, maybe 1st of October. If you've not done and you have a weed issue and you like weed and feed products, that would again be that same kind of thing. On the weed and feed, read the label. If you're going to spend that much money on a product that's going to control your weeds, fertilize your lawn, read the directions on whether or not the grass needs to be slightly damp, which would mean doing this in the morning, how long it needs to stay on that grass before you irrigate, because all of those things affect the quality of the final outcome.
And if you do it wrong, you wasted your money.
You've just wasted your money. And those, depending on the size of your lawn, you're looking at $45, $90 plus your up to $90 or more to do your lawn and your time.
Well, I will tell you,
and you wouldn't be going back and doing it again.
Well, I will tell you, you gave us a very good tip on a product to hook to your hose.
Yeah.
To get rid of the weeds in our. We didn't do it in the backyard. We just did it in the front yard.
Right, that's the front yard. It's what people say.
We did it in the front yard, and I'm amazed at how well it worked.
Yeah.
You always hear it works pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
But the St. Augustine's back. There's very few weed patches anymore.
And once
they're
you
up
get
near
along,
the flower garden areas where where the weeds are at anyway. And so.
And that's it. In the springtime here, I know we're coming into fall, but in springtime, weed and feeds are very difficult to use because the best time to do weed control, if you have an issue, is like February.
Right.
But we don't fertilize to the mid to the end of March. So you've got a 6-week period, but you also have that ability to put the initial weed control product down, knocking back the cool season weeds, helping to prevent some of those warm season weeds from germinating, and then coming back in that mid to end of March and being able to put your fertilizer, and you can usually do a second weed control on the lawn. If you do it that way, you're not doing a whole yard weed control here in September, October. It's one of those things, reading the labels, and that's my mantra. I guess that's
Read the labels.
Read and follow label directions. The label is the law. It's for your health and safety, as well as here in Florida, our groundwater, as well, as the total environment. Get a good, healthy lawn, and you don't have a big weed issue.
It's kind of like I do. Like last night, I cooked dinner, and one of the things we do because we're on the go, we do these meal in a bag.
Okay.
And if you just put it in the skillet and you do it the way you think it should be done, it's horrible.
It doesn't come out as good.
But if you read the directions and do it the way that the chefs at this company have designed it to do,
right.
It's amazing how good it is.
Comes out wonderfully. comes out fantastically.
Read the directions.
Read the directions. How many times have you, when preparing a meal or whatever, you've dumped the box in and threw the box in the garbage, and then 3 minutes later you grab the box out of the garbage and read it again, and it's like, okay, just put it on the counter above the garbage can.
If you would do that for there, you're talking about doing the same thing with fertilizer.
Right. And it's not your food isn't going to poison you if you do it wrong.
Fertilizer
it's just not going
is.
to. Your fertilizer or other things can.
Could poison your dogs, your cats.
Right, and that's it. Everybody says, are these products safe for my pets? When you read and follow the directions and you keep Fluffy and Fido and Fifi in the house while you're doing those things, that's not the time for your pet to be outside with you.
No.
Is when you're doing your weed control, fertilizer control, pest control. The animals stay in the house until the product's been put down, whether it needs to be watered in. That time period on the label will tell you when re-entry can occur.
So I have to ask you this question. 622-9622 is the number to call if you have any questions for Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. I have to ask you this question because I hate them.
Okay.
And so I destroy them at every chance I get.
Okay.
What am I doing to the ecosystem of my yard?
Okay.
Because last night I was walking the dogs and I heard something. I looked up, hit the flashlight, and there they were.
What's that?
A nest of wasps.
Ooh.
About 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah.
Right above the back door leading out of the lanai.
Spray
So
it.
I just went to the garage, got the spray,
And
took them out.
Yeah.
Am I hurting the ecosystem taking wasp out?
Not in that sense.
Because bumblebees, honeybees and all, they actually provide a service for flowers.
And wasps are pollinators also, plus they can be predators to other insect pests.
Yeah, but they like to sting me.
And when they're right outside the front door, that's an area where you're putting yourself, in harm's way. Unless you're allergic, it just hurts, but still you're dealing with a sting issue, and it's just not who wants to come in the house? You got your hands full of groceries, you're fumbling with your keys, and suddenly you have an angry wasp
I swell
come down
up.
and sting.
I don't need an EpiPen, but I need a Benadryl.
Right,
As soon as I get stung, I have to get a Benadryl in me, or I'll swell up, eyes will shut.
Oh, yeah. So you're pretty close.
I'm not worried about throat close or anything,
but you're still. Yeah, that's almost just a step down.
I'm just a step down from an EpiPen.
Right. But
and when I was a little kid, EpiPens were everywhere.
Right.
Because as I've gotten older, I've grown out of some of the
allergy.
Because I got at 10 years old, I got hit by one of those big bumblebees.
Oh.
The big bumblebees hit me in the hip. My whole leg went numb. I couldn't walk for a day and a half.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. And my mom was one of those. I was just a bee. Don't worry about it.
Walk it off.
Till she told the doctor about it. The doctor goes, "He's probably allergic, woman. You're probably allergic."
Yeah.
But so anytime I see a stinger, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, and I will do the same thing. I have the can of wasp and hornet spray right inside the front door, so that at least on that front porch, if I'm gonna sit out there, I really don't want wasps right there.
Oh yeah,
if they're further out in the yard, that's different. If they're not in an area where they're a problem, kind of thing. But it hurt. I got stung actually the other day at work. Well, a couple weeks ago, and it took, and I'm not allergic, over a week, one sting in my calf. It hurt 20 minutes. Okay, no big deal. You get over it. But then the next few days,
it was a welt down there.
It was a welt there that
stinger
itched.
was probably in there.
That itched and itched and itched. You took the Benadryl. You took you made sure you kept that because it's a puncture wound clean. But yeah, every day it was like a little bit of the poison, the venom would come out, so it kept a little hole, kept a little scab, and it would itch. You'd pop it, and
You
it's
pop
like-
it. I'll give you a
and it-
life hack for that after
Yeah.
this phone call.
Okay.
Good morning. You're on with Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Back when I was carrying mail 25 years ago, we used the pepper spray to clean out hornets and wasps and such,
Oh,
and it worked rather well.
interesting.
They probably don't like capsaicin.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
Thanks for the call.
And have a good day.
Thanks. Yeah.
I'll give you a life hack for stings, and it's
Yeah.
because my mom had to
Yeah.
come up with ways to get them out of me and everything.
Right.
You know what pulls a stinger right out of your body?
What's that?
Bleach. Get a little bleach on a rag and put it on the sting, but
Yeah.
it'll pull the stinger right out. You know how they say tobacco will do that?
Right.
I don't know if tobacco will, but
Yeah.
bleach. You get a bleach rag and put it on the stinger.
I know my brother did mud when I got stung one time
Uh-huh.
when we were kids and we were right by a lake, and he just grabbed a handful of mud and slapped it on
Your
there.
basic
and-
chlorine bleach will pull a stinger right out of your leg, and it'll take the itch out and everything where you don't itch or anything.
Right.
Just you got to hold the bleach on there.
Right.
And be careful because the bleach will burn you if you leave it on there too long.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah, you just want to put it on.
It
yeah,
is
you-
chlorine.
Yeah.
So, but just a little life hack: if you get stung again and you want to not have to
it,
go
yeah.
through that 2 week of
Yeah,
itching,
that was the annoying thing. Is just every so often it would just itch, and then it would that
And you'd
that
scratch
center
it,
of
and then it would
that
ooze a little
that
bit.
center of it would come out of there, and it's like okay, and it'd be good till the next day, but it would push enough of it up and out of there, and
you got popped by a wasp, you think, or yellow
yeah,
jacket or something?
it was a paper wasp. We had brought a pallet down, and luckily. My forklift driver, it was like we had to bring that one down, and there was 4 pallets sitting on top. So she happened to pull those 4 pallets and had gotten back. I was standing near the pallet that the nest was up underneath. So they came out and
got you.
popped me.
Yeah.
The rest of them didn't.
And
Because
you
the
know,
nest was sprayed.
the worst
promptly.
is yellow jackets
Yeah.
because they don't make nest up.
No,
They make nest in the ground.
Yes.
So they're like nature's IEDs.
They exactly, and actually, as somebody that was stung 150
And hornets will tear you up. The yellow jackets will get after you.
150 times because they ran over the nest with a riding mower,
Ooh.
and they swarmed and pheromone to him.
Ooh.
And so when I got a hold of him and helped pull, luckily wearing a flannel shirt, so I could pull the shirt inside out off, which removed a bunch. And as I was trying to brush him off, I got stung, but I only got stung like 10 times. But that's mostly because I got my hand right there. They had not pheromoned to me.
Right.
So that's what happens is when you disturb that nest, they come out and they go after that one person or animal.
Whoever messed with their nest.
Whoever messed with that nest. And the other people around, so if you can get to a hose or whatever, and, it ended up being the dog's kiddie pool
Right.
is where that person went.
That's how you get out away from them.
Yeah, and brushing them off that way. But yeah, there was about probably 150 stings.
Hornet's nest, yellow jackets.
Yeah, the yellow jackets. Yeah, underground.
Yeah, yellow jacket will get you. And if you run their hole over with a lawnmower, they're coming to find you.
Oh yeah, that lawnmower stayed there with its motor running until it ran out of gas.
Yeah, and they're not scared of a lawnmower at all. They'll come out. They don't care.
I mean, that's actually it was a threat,
Yeah.
and they came out
Right.
and
I will tell you after the break.
Yeah.
A natural phenomenon that I got to witness firsthand when I lived in North Carolina that was quite amazing, that without this natural phenomenon, life as we know it would not be able to function.
Oh,
And it has to do with making sure that things are right so that plants can do what they need to do.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that coming up. Plus, we'll take your calls, 622-9622. If you want to talk to Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin, she is in studio to take your phone calls about anything about your flower gardens, your roses, your grass, your bushes, your vegetable gardens, your plants inside, the little plant in your window in the kitchen. She'll help you with that if it's getting a little peaked. Any questions you have about growing plant life, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin is here for you. Give us a call at 622-9622. This is Ocala Talks coming to you from the WOCA studios just off the runway at the Ocala International Airport. We'll be back after this short timeout on WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
The Biden administration has left Americans behind in Afghanistan measuring in the hundreds. The Pentagon tweeted a photo of the last American soldier to leave the Kabul airport with the caption, "Ending the U.S. mission in Kabul." Taliban fighters from the Fatah SWAT unit were seen storming into the airport wearing brand new American uniforms, brand new machine guns, and equipment. Northern California's Caldor Fire jumped a major highway to reach Lake Tahoe Basin Monday night. The weeks-old wildfire jumped both the eastern and western sides of Highway 89 in the Sierra Nevadas. Some 22,000 people were ordered to evacuate the city of South Lake Tahoe and surrounding communities, causing traffic jams on the eastbound 50. With more than 186,500 acres burned, the fire was 15% contained Monday night. Extreme fire conditions in the state have prompted California's Forest Service to close all national forests through September 17th. USA Radio News.
This is good news, maybe exactly when you need it to. Right now, MediShare is waiving their new member fees. This could save you money on top of all that you'll save each month by becoming a member of MediShare. So many people are looking for a healthcare solution right now, seeing the cost of COBRA plans, for instance. And MediShare is the affordable alternative to health insurance. The typical family saves $500 a month, but you might save even more. MediShare is a Christian community that shares each other's healthcare costs, and because of the current economic situation, they're making it easier than ever. Apply by August 31st, and you can save an additional $170 on your first month. I'll give you the number here in a second, and if you call, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Just tell them the promo code SHARE to receive your additional savings. Maybe now is the time to make the switch, like more than 400,000 people already have, and start saving. Here it is. Call 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
Shamrock Security Systems, 629-3223. Shamrock Security Systems is located here in Ocala, Florida. Shamrock Security Systems is a top-rated alarm company offering 24/7 monitoring, video surveillance, fire and flood protection. You'll sleep a little better once the job is done. Shamrock Security Systems for over 31 years. 629-3223. Get a 100% free quote from Shamrock Security. 629-3223.
The Ocala Golf Club, one of Ocala's premier golf courses, from its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop. Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th